You're welcome back. Time for business, and Daryl Kwao is here to bring us the very latest on the business front. First time seeing you here, Daryl.
Hi, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, time to talk business.
Exactly.
And
what's
the debate
in business?
about whether or not the IMF program was beneficial to the economy has come up because we haven't seen the results based on the figures we got from the previous year, and some are calling into question the data that was presented to the IMF by the previous administration. But former Deputy Minister of Finance has been
addressing those claims. Okay, all right, take it away, Darryl.
Right, so former Deputy Minister of Finance, Muna Quartey, is rejecting reports that the previous administration submitted inaccurate data to the IMF during their engagements following the previous administration's not so encouraging end-of-year economic results. Some analysts have questioned the relevance of the IMF program. Renowned economist Dr. Joe Abe has, however, defended the fund, saying the economy is going through, what the economy is going through is just a challenge because the NDC government did not present accurate data to the IMF. But Mrs. Quartey disagrees.
Honorable Seth, Honorable Atu, and myself are professional people, and there is no way we will withhold information or data to the IMF before the program. Surely the president invited them to come for the program. We were aware of it, and they came, and we completely worked with them and gave them the data that we had to give them. Perhaps there were conversation about the way of calculating certain things, and everyone has their way of doing things. There's no one way of calculating certain numbers, so we may have had those conversations. But if you recall, the targets that the IMF set even at the beginning in terms of performance or structural benchmarks, they changed them again and made them even tighter. If you recall, the deficit for this year was supposed to be 5.5. They moved it to 5.3 and eventually to 5 because we had overperformed in the first two reviews. Our own success was coming back to haunt us. So in terms of data, we gave them the correct data as we had them, and we did not intentionally or even attempt to give them any data that was not right. We gave them the right data.
Now, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, has rejected suggestions that it's focusing on attracting foreign investment into the economy at the expense of domestic ones. Now, Ghanaian business operators have in recent times called for a level playing field between them and foreign investors in the establishment of businesses in the country. They lament the lack of policies for growing indigenous businesses as opposed to foreign ones, which enjoy tax incentives, among others, in the name of investment attraction. But CEO of the GIPC, Marina Cheba, says domestic businesses are first on their list when it comes to investment opportunities.
The reality is that you also need to look at the sector-specific investments. Now, clearly, big infrastructure investments, roads, ports, airport facilities require other resources, other expertise, new technologies that we simply don't have in the country. So, of course, we would invite potential investors to come into the country. Now, having said that, they also need to be the kinds of investors who understand what we expect out of those investments that are being pursued. So we don't just hand over a whole lot of incentives unless we can prove that if we offer those incentives to the company in question, significantly more will accrue back to the country in the number of jobs that are created and the technology that's created. But I think what is exciting for us as an investment promotion center is to see the level of change and interest in registering with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center by the domestic business community, because that was the biggest perception to deal with, that, oh, the Investment Promotion Center is only interested in foreign direct investment. No. We actually need to start with the domestic business community. And I think giving them the attention and the focus that, quite frankly, they deserve and have always deserved.
And that was Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Marina Cheba. She was speaking on Executive Lounge with Insurado, which airs tomorrow at 5 p.m. right here on the Joy News channel. Moving on, authorities in the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, collect between 5,000 and 7,000 Ghana cedis every day from motorists who park their vehicles on selected streets of the Central Business District. Now, the amount reflects an increase in the unit cost from an initial 30 pesos to 1 Ghana cedi, presently for about 1,000 130 available parking spaces. The pay parking system was introduced by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly in 2006 to decongest the city center. But has this been realized? Prince Apia reports.
The collection agency, Gold Street Real Estate Company, which made 1.8 million Ghana cedis last year, is targeting 2 million Ghana cedis for 2016. Meanwhile, an average of between 600 million and 700 million Ghana cedis was collected from 2006 to 2013. The figure rose to 1.76 million Ghana cedis in 2014. The money ends up in the respective coffers of KMA and the Urban Roads Department. All these vehicles parked here are paying 1 Ghana cedis irrespective of the time spent, whether 1 minute or 1 hour. 10 years on after the introduction of the on-street pay parking policy, 2 questions pertain: whether the congestion challenge in the city center has been curtailed, or whether users are getting value for money.
The situation here is very bad because sometimes I come here, I have to go round and round 7 times before I get a small place to park. The inconvenience is too much. So if they can do something about it, I think it will help all of us. This is a doom, and we think getting a place somewhere for all of us, for everybody to go there, will be a good idea.
No, the service is not okay, but they are taking 1 cedi from us. We don't want that. It's not good because they are not helping us. You see, that's why I'm saying that.
First why you say, what share ha? We could see baby and Kebehow, Kronfor Behow, and all this.
Motorists and other residents have to contend with unbearable traffic with little space to maneuver as vehicles are parked along major streets. Kakraba Ampe is chief executive of the collection agency.
We've been discussing with the KMA that there's the need to take some of the wholesale trading activities out of the city center because in various jurisdictions, as conditions change, wholesale businesses are taken to the urban periphery so that offices and walk-in shopping activities are preserved for the city center, and that is where we should be looking at. The other factor that we have been discussing, which we hope over time could also be introduced, is the possibility of getting high-rise parking facility in Kumasi. Accra has a couple of those facilities, and it helps because that way you can stack a number of vehicles within the same space and therefore free the on-street parking locations for people who are coming for 1 hour or 2 hours and to do business.
And that's all for business tonight. My name is Daryl Kwao. The news continues after this break.